Hey Zookeepers, it's Brandon, one of your Kaiju Hollywood bad boys, to say we got a score-driven episode. We're talking Rescuers Down Under. Good day, mate. This is funny because we talked about doing Rescuers Down Under in the upcoming episodes because we're doing this release out of order. But we have on Andy Vanderbilt, who's got a few things going on that are coming up very soon, so we wanted to release this first. So enjoy this Rashomon-style release of Podzuki episodes. But boy howdy, this is a fun one. We get into some real wild topics and areas. Andy was a great guest, and let's get to that. Andy Vanderbilt, special guest, great artist. Follow them on social media, usually by that name or Vandy on Blue Sky. They also just released a book called Adventure Ace Valley of the Giant Snakes. You can get that on Amazon. Check it out. And they're going to be at All Monsters Attack this weekend at the Rosemont Convention Center if you're in the Chicago area. And that's going to be from May 9th to May 11th. You gotta do it if you're loving the kaijus, loving the big boys. You know, I don't need to get to it. Anyways, as always, helps us a ton if you share this with your friends or on social media. Also, any reviews on Spotify or Apple Podcasts help a ton. And then feel free to email us at PodzukiPodcast if you have any questions, recommendations, or just weird things you want to tell us. That's PODZOOKY podcast@gmail.com. And let's put another shrimp on the barbie. I have to do the shrimp on the barbie joke. Listen, it happens a few times, but I'm a product of my generation. Anyways, great episode. Let's get out of here. Bye.
Render unto Ghidra what is Ghidra's. 10 to 1 he sees you through a beaker and a tweezers. Read the fine print and be like, what's the big deal? Spun wheels of steel since broke wheel, big wheel. Back when it was greasy as curl, now it's easy dread. Had a rhyme on how they used to tease him about his peasy head. Yes, y'all, to the beat. Have a ball.
I just realized I could hear the clock in this room, but I don't think it's going to pick up on the mic.
Yeah, no, it's going to be fine.
Okay, let's not think about it.
You can just add a really loud clock sound over it, so that
there we go.
You won't notice it.
It's a shame we didn't integrate Mouse Detective. That has a giant clock in it.
Yeah,
it's our special fifth guest, the metronome.
You know, if we had done the Great Mouse Detective, that would have been on theme.
Oh, that would have been on theme.
He gets smashed by a big fucking clock at the end of that movie. That's gnarly.
He falls off, I thought.
Yeah. I do remember Ratigan gets stuck between the hands.
Right.
Is that happening in that? Because that happens in the Castle of Cagliostro.
I was gonna say Castle of Cagliostro.
Oh, did I get it mixed up?
Because in Castle of Cagliostro, yeah, he gets
It definitely ends on like Big Ben.
Yes, he
yeah,
falls because I went down a rabbit hole and I found out that they did like an unofficial sequel where Ratigan survives, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, why not?"
Is that the name of the movie?
I wish.
Official sequel.
Ratigan survived.
Such a good colon.
Ratigan's Revenge. I mean, that would have worked. You had Jafar's Revenge down the road.
Ratigan's okay.
Yeah, he's fine.
Okay. Yeah, he's fine.
He's fine. He's fine. Everyone's fine. We're all fine.
We're all good. Oh, we should introduce ourselves, I just realized.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm one of your Kaiju Hollywood bad boys, Brandon Kirkman.
I'm another one of your Kaiju Hollywood bad boys, Luke Evans Flip.
I'm your third Hollywood Kaiju bad boy, Martin Felshman. Brandon, introduce our special guest.
We have somebody been wanting to get on for a little bit. They're an internet friend of mine, but we're also both in Chicago. I know you gave me the name Andy, and then your online name's Vandy, so I like to think it's Andy Vandy. Everybody, it's Andy Vandy.
That's pretty much what my nickname became, because it just worked. And I was like, yeah, I'll take it. It's better than nicknames I've gotten in school.
But fellow artist and kaiju lover, and a lot of art that celebrates both those, so I wanted to get you on, but also...
Much appreciated.
We had the silly idea a few episodes back of what if we did the Rescuers Down Under, because everything to mice is big. It's really that simple.
Is that what the thinking? Because I remember bringing up like Rescuers Down Under coming up, but I don't remember us deciding to do an episode on it.
We got into a lot of riffs on it, and then I forgot where it went from there.
Yeah, so. That's a running theme in Podzuki. We bring up another thing that we have to talk about in a future episode, and also don't remember the reason why we had to do this.
Yeah. Oh, that's the best. You just kind of go through the spider web of how did we get to this? I think we were talking about this, and well, we were talking about Patton for whatever reason, and then we remembered that he's in this movie we're talking about tonight.
Oh man! Oh, in the words of George C. Scott, turn it off.
Yeah,
my review of this movie.
I was shocked.
There's a lot of good I want to say a lot of really great McLeach lines, and it's like, I didn't graduate from third grade to be fooled like this.
I don't know. First, let's go off. I like doing stuff like this. Everybody say their experience with the movie, because we were all probably around an age when this was something we could have seen in the theaters.
Yeah, I would have been 6 when this came out, and I remember seeing it, but it was on VHS for sure. But the whole America was in the Australian Crocodile Dundee craze, and what we needed more than anything was John Candy as a giant big albatross.
And not Paul Hogan as like a bush mouse.
He couldn't have been that expensive back then, right?
I was shocked about that. Like, I had to stop and think, like, what was big at this time? For whatever reason, my mind jumped to Romancing the Stone, because it seemed like... I'd never seen that. I've never seen that movie, so, like, my guess of, like, when that took place is out of place. But then I was like, oh, yeah, Crocodile Dundee. I always associate that with The Simpsons.
It's definitely very got what kids in the early 90s wanted, which was Bob Newhart. Yeah. Every kid's favorite former sitcom star.
I was just sitting there, like, looking at the cast list when it came up, and I'm like, oh, Bob Newhart, huh? And then one of the Zsa Zsa Gabor's sister, and then I'm like, wait, John Candy's in this? Sold.
Yeah, well, I remember watching this. We must have had the tape when I was a kid, because I don't remember seeing it in theaters. But I watched the tape a lot. But I only really remembered the kid with the golden feather and rubbing it against his face. And like I didn't remember. I don't know. I watched this a lot, and yeah, I remembered the rescuers. I remember John Candy, and yeah, I thought I was going to have more memories unlocked while watching this, but turns out I was just mostly bored. Yeah, like
fair.
This is a very weird movie that for them to release in theaters when they did.
Yeah, I wrote down a lot of interesting notes with this, which is like Michael Eisner had taken over for Disney as like kind of the CEO at the time.
Didn't
like
Katzenberg also start getting involved?
Yeah, Katzenberg was involved with this one too, and they're like, we have to do our first direct sequel to an animated feature with the movie from one of our more unpopular from 1977, and now it's set in Australia.
Yeah, Martin, your experience?
It's funny. I feel like my experience is the exact same as yours, because I also had this VHS as a child. Never watched it in theaters, but I watched it a lot as a kid. And while watching the movie, I was like, I remembered certain things very clearly, like the kid rubbing the feather on his face, or that scene where he's flying with the eagle.
Yeah.
But I also thought, while watching it, I was like, oh, there's going to be a lot more stuff that I would remember. And, oh, no, they just didn't write a lot of the plot.
No.
We'll get to that later, but yeah, sorry.
No, it's fine. I was going to say, so my experience, so I had never seen this movie until last night when I watched it.
Okay.
Oh, welcome.
I was familiar with it for a couple weird particular reasons. One, my parents, so The Rescuers, I've still never seen The Rescuers. I was familiar with it mostly because my parents, and we still have these, have a pair of Christmas ornaments of Bernard and Bianca?
Beatrice.
Is it Beatrice?
No, you're right. Yeah, it's Bianca. He was right.
Okay, because I kept saying Beatrice like a goon, and I was thinking, like, what's wrong with me? But yeah, I remember that. So I'm like, okay, I know who the Rescuers are. I had no idea of anything else. And then I just remember always seeing the trailer, like, whenever Disney would do those VHS, like, you go to watch a Disney movie, and then they have, like, coming soon to Disney VHS, or...
That same dude who did all the
that guy, that voice is component of your childhood.
Coming soon.
Yeah, I would always see the same thing for The Rescuers Down Under, and it was always the kid when he's gliding on the water. And I always was that beautifully animated opening, and I'm sitting there like, wow, that movie looks cool as hell. Never sought it out. Like, I don't know why. Like, I wasn't like I was just a general cartoon kid. I didn't need it to be Disney, but I, of course, watched a lot of Disney. I mean, I was, let me see, 1990. So you're like fine with like a... Right? Like 1990. You're fine with like a
Sinbad. This was 1990. This was 1990.
El Dorado.
Yeah, like anything. I didn't care if it was a cartoon. Yeah. I would have been like 4, I think, when Rescuers Down Under came out. So I just mostly knew about it through osmosis. And I remember meeting an artist who was really a big fan of Joanna.
Oh, really?
I can see that Joanna's probably the best thing about this movie.
That girl wants eggs. Let me tell you.
I remember I did recall another scene when Joanne's trying to eat the eggs, but they're rocks later on. I remember thinking like those eggs look really good.
Yeah,
I bet those would be good to eat.
Yeah, I think. Oh, I didn't talk about my experiences, but I think it's almost the same exact one. I remember seeing this a lot as a kid on VHS. Watching again, I feel like I imagined more between the scenes for this film. And it's like, wow, this really is just a point A to point B to point C film.
It moves. Like there's very little downtime in this movie. It's crazy to me.
I remembered the kid like going back home after encountering the poacher the first time, and then going back out and getting caught by the poacher. Like,
this poor woman spends the entire movie thinking her kid got eaten by crocodiles.
Doesn't he? I don't even think we get to see her face. I think we just see the back of her head.
Yeah, they pull not even the back of her head. They pull like a nanny from Muppet Babies, where you just see like the bottom half of her. I guess you see more of her than you did Nanny, if I can make a Muppet Babies reference.
Yeah.
I realized the reason that we came up with this and got to this movie was there's an episode I was talking. There's one specific scene that really stuck out to me as a kid, is when the little bug grabs the pea and goes, "Split pea soup." And they put it in the thing and make the split pea soup.
I did have the thought that it must be so hard to run a mouse restaurant nowadays since thimbles have fallen so out of style.
Yeah. It's really hard. And then on top of that, don't get me started on this Ratatouille. Making all these fucking ghost kitchens. Trying to make money off his name.
Never seen that either.
Oh, really?
Ratatouille is great.
I don't know. Like, I became a terrible movie watcher. I don't know why. I think the last... No, because I've seen Disney movies after that, and I'm pretty sure Ratatouille came after Up, right?
It came before Up, yeah.
Before Up.
That was, I think after Cars, then it was Ratatouille.
Yeah.
No, after The Incredibles.
For whatever reason.
It's definitely around... it was around the time when Pixar wasn't like a sure bet.
And listen, any adult Disney fans listening home, you can email us at podzukipodcast@gmail.com. I will not read it because I do not respect you.
Yeah, I don't know. I still never seen Cars. I don't know. I dropped off Pixar. Like, I saw The Incredibles, and I was like, that was great. Like, I was in high school when that came out.
You made the smart choice, I think.
You don't need to see Cars.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know... the most I know about Cars is that apparently there's some lore in Cars 2 that implies the existence of a car pope, which implies the existence of car Jesus.
That also the existence of a car Hitler.
There's definitely a car Hitler. There's a car that definitely fought in World War II.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you don't see car Hitler.
No.
Yeah, I'm just saying it would be...
No, don't you
I
remember
imagine car Hitler would be a Beetle.
Yeah.
Well, it could...
Don't
he had like a
besmirch
Rolls
the
Royce,
Beetle.
though, didn't he?
I would watch that movie instantly if there's just one scene where he's just like, "Hey, it's me, Car Hitler," and then he just zooms off and nobody explains it.
I mean, I will say, as an artist, to design... Like, there's a lot of unfortunate levels of fun you could have designing... Like an anthropomorphic, like the grill alone, you could be like, how would I do his mustache? Like, it's an awful thought. And I mean,
yeah, but if somebody had their portfolio where they had like dictators all as Cars characters, you'd be that's fun.
That's a theme, so that's got to be a thread on some.
Oh, here's a good one. What about Pole Position Pot? That'd be fun.
Pole Position, the Namco game.
Yeah, but Pot. He's Pole Pot. He's the part of the
Michelini.
He's a part of the Car Mare Rouge.
This is off to a great start already.
Tesla nowadays.
Yeah.
Oh, you should see. Did you not listen to any of the backlog?
Oh, I've been listening to it. I've been catching up. This is what I like. This is the kind of podcast I like.
Yeah, it's just three comedians who kind of just talk about whatever.
Yeah,
that's the way.
We're a little zany.
Let's get back to Rescuers Down Under.
Right,
Did anybody else think this movie looked like shit?
I thought it looked good.
See,
Parts of it looked like shit.
The Eagle looked good.
Well, that's where your budget went.
Good.
Yeah, the Eagle.
Your budget went to the Eagle.
Joanna, that's the name of the...
the lizard.
The lizard, the undetermined lizard. My wife was asking me because she had seen it and she watched it with me. And I'm like she asked, like, what kind of lizard is Joanna? And I'm like, I don't know, a lizard.
He says one kind of lizard at the beginning, but then he says a couple other different things.
Yeah, I think he doesn't know animals super well.
Yeah, it's a tiny Komodo dragon.
That's what we thought. And I was like, well, that means Joanna's poisonous, so that implies some terrifying power from this poacher, like to tame.
Oh, I forgot we talked about this on a Podzuki episode before. Joanne is a goanna.
Oh,
Type of
okay.
lizard.
Oh, go on.
Yeah, which would have been a fun character. I also feel like this film has a lot of potential awakenings for fetishes for anybody watching it.
Not enough, I would
Not
say.
enough.
You would like. I would expect more from a '90s.
The mice characters
Movie.
are very cute, though.
Yeah.
I will
mean,
say it does.
I am sure somebody out there, Bianca, is their awakening.
I
They're
think
gadget.
I think she's more like sexualized in the '70s one.
Yeah.
Like they do a thing where like the designs are better in the '70s one because they don't color in their eyes. Like they do have pupils, but they're all black, so they don't look as kind of uncanny valley as they do in this movie.
Yeah.
See, I have to go back and watch the Rescuers because I never watched it, but I do know that like the one fact I know about the Rescuers is that it always shows up on those top 10s. Did you know this about Disney lists? Because there's a poster with some boobs on it in the background.
Yeah, the boobs.
It's like during a flyby, and it's like that's all I knew about it. I was like, oh, I should watch that movie one day. Actually, hold up, I did have another artist acquaintance, just someone who really liked the villain of that movie. That was his ideal lady.
The villain in the
first
one
Rescuers.
is way better than the villain in this one. Yeah, it's just some crazy, like, red-haired woman, just kind of like a Cruella de Vil. But
Yeah.
there's a scene at the end where I think she, like, rides on two crocodiles like skis.
Yes,
I think she does that.
That's
I
right.
shit,
thought
you
about
just-
rewatching the first movie.
You just sold me on that movie. I'm like, yeah, I could pay to see, like, I'd pay to see that.
Madame Medusa.
It's also just a weird, like, 70s Disney is so weird, like, especially because that's around the time Disney died, I think, too, right?
Well, yeah,
I
because
don't know.
Rescuers Down Under was, like, the first big step in the Renaissance, which I was really, or it was during the Renaissance, sorry.
It was that because this was after Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid
Right,
was probably,
right.
that was 87 or something.
Wow.
And then, but this is before Aladdin, which was probably the one that really set off.
That's the Disney movie. Before Lion King, that was the big Disney movie. I remember going to theaters and having I remember being excited because the first the directed VHS, I wanted to say directed DVD, but obviously those didn't exist back then. That's where Return of Jafar came from. That was actually a pretty solid movie from what I remember.
Which was also a pilot for the very good TV show.
Yeah.
I missed
Gave
out
Jason
on
Alexander. Gave Jason Alexander some work, which is great too.
Yes.
It was a really good show. It had a really good rogues gallery.
Yeah, they did.
I could imagine
There's
that's a
that one guy-
lot of fun.
There's the
you
one
could
guy
have
with the
there.
skeleton hand that was like a lich. That was really cool.
Sold.
They had
Archimedes.
the god Chaos, who was voiced by the dude from, oh god, he was Max Headroom.
Yeah.
Oh,
That dude.
I just know that
know
guy
it-
is Max Headroom, sadly.
Yeah.
It's on the tip of my tongue now. We gotta look this up here.
Yeah.
But
Like, I was weird
yeah,
because
better
I,
cartoons.
I missed, like, I'm sure this is going to get me, I don't know if this is going to get me into trouble. I watched a Goofy movie for the first time 2 weeks ago.
That's
I mean,
fine.
I feel like it's more of appropriation of culture. It wasn't that big back in
Oh my god, I bought a
Thank you,
VCR
Mark. Thank you, Mark,
at a
for
pawn
being cool with me.
No, I wait till you hear what I have to say.
Oh.
I bought a
Matt Fury was the
VCR
name.
at a pawn shop a while back, and it came with they had a copy of an extremely goofy movie to
damn.
test it with. But I'm too afraid to watch it because I don't want the poetry chick in that movie to make me feel things.
Boy,
The
That was-
Librarian too.
a lot of
see,
hot ladies
I was a bigger fan of the Librarian because here's the funny thing. I missed that. I remember renting a Goofy movie, starting it. I don't remember hating it. I just didn't stick with it. But for whatever reason, during high school, I would always have Disney Channel on in the background because it was on. It was that's when they had like Lizzie McGuire, even Stevens. They were really targeting like that teen demographic. I remember watching an extremely goofy movie and going like, "Hey, this movie's pretty fun,"
Yeah.
and it still holds up. Like Goofy's 2 for 2 on like movie.
Powerline's a lot of fun.
Powerline. I actually started adding Powerline, like some Tevin Campbell songs to my playlists.
It's a good song.
Well, the Goofy movie, especially the first one, was very much. I think everybody watched it especially when it came out for home video. I don't think a lot of people saw it in theater, but then they watched it in home video. Because when I was in high school, like we would watch it all the time, and we would go out to my buddy's parents' cabin and get like a keg, and we would put the movie on and just like have that playing while we would party and shit.
Yeah,
It's got a
that's pretty
timeless
funny.
quality. Like, I'll admit, sometimes, like, when I see people who get real hyped, like, when I was, like, it's not like that I was, like, one of those, Disney, that's for nerds. I was the last person who could fucking say that about anything. But I was just like, what's the big deal about a Goofy movie? And then I watched it like 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, you know what? I get it.
Well, I think it was the TV show was so popular.
Goof Troop was fun.
Goof Troop featuring Another Awakening with Pete's wife, right?
Yeah.
Peg?
Yeah.
Peg.
But
We've all seen that one animation by the one animator. I'm trying to remember his name. Is like
Yukino Joe.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yukino Joe before he lost his mind.
But also, it's the most a Goofy movie is the most '90s movie
It
ever.
really just hits everything, and I know we got away, but we're
we
staying on
care
track
for
with the
you.
'90s at least.
I'm just thinking all the lines from the animation. It's really funny to me. No, Peggy was very hot. I feel like another thing too is I never watched the second Goofy movie. It was just
It's good.
extremely goofy for me.
Yeah, no.
Like it's
Extremely goofy.
okay. The second movie is worth watching. It's a solid movie, pretty cool soundtrack from what I remember. It's got it's got the specials version of Pressure Drop I think on there, which was pretty cool. But the big
It's got the
reason,
same problem that Furiosa had, where it's just not the movie that came
exactly.
before it.
It's like when I went back and watched a Goofy movie, I was like, oh, I can see why an extremely Goofy movie is accepted. But if you're given the option, most people are going to go with the original. I mean, the original is a really fun road trip movie that goes off the fucking rails. Like, there are some horrifying children in that movie. Like, I don't know what was going on with Disney, but I had to pause at multiple points.
Yeah,
And
you posted it on Blue Sky, and it was like enough where I was like, I had to do a double take. That was in the film, like Jesus Christ.
That whole possum Pete or whatever it was. It's like something out of Fear and Loathing. Like, it's all these horrifying John Waters-esque, like grotesque people all just having a good time, and I'm like, this is insane.
Oh yeah, it was enough when Disney would still have stuff where they would let some animators just do what you want and then have it done by.
There's a zombie in that movie. They're driving by the hearse and then a zombie gets up and there's the nuns that appear. There's a lot of real fun background stuff in that movie, which sadly, looping it back around, Rescuers Down Under, which I actually liked, I will say Rescuers Down Under, thinking on it, I liked it, but I also didn't really have many expectations. But
Yeah,
there was a lot of really fun backgrounds. The Doctor Mouse
Doctor's
looked
great.
like he belonged in a
Wonder.
different movie.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that. Those were almost more like a secretive Nim thing. I had the thought that if you love seeing how mice would do things if they did human stuff, but they had to use human-sized instruments, you'll find a lot to enjoy in this movie because that's like the entire selling point of it, I feel.
I remember my first time learning about Secret of Nim was turning on Cartoon Network one morning when they were watching it, and I saw a mouse throw a knife into another mouse's back.
Yeah,
And I'm like, what is happening? This is crazy.
that's the ending of the movie too.
I know, right? I got spoilers, I guess.
A fun thing about Don Bluth's animation, though, if you're
I'm a big
into
Don Bluth
animation,
fan.
I was watching the movie Xanadu recently, which is like a vanity project for Olivia Newton-John.
And
But there's like
an
for
Electric Light Orchestra.
yeah, for the ELO song "Don't Walk Away," there's just a whole Don Bluth did a whole music video for it. That's makes me think of the. I think he probably worked on Sword in the Stone because it.
I watched that
Kind
for
of,
the
it has the
first
same-
time last year, and I'd believe it.
Yeah, it has sort of the same through line as like it reminded me of the wizard fight from that movie because they're just constantly turning into.
That's a
other
fun.
creatures.
That is some fun
Also,
animation.
I don't want to keep taking it
It's
back
the only
to
good
this,
part of Xanadu.
but I'm going to do it. But also,
Sorry,
we're talking
sorry.
about Sexual Awakenings, Sword in the Stone. I mean, come on, we're thinking about the squirrel scene, right?
Oh, the squirrel scene.
That's-
No, mine was Disney's Robin Hood. If we're going to talk about Disney's
yeah,
movie,
maybe.
And that's
hot,
my
piffy.
that is my favorite Disney movie. I would probably say of all time. I mean,
Because of the Roger Miller score, because that does a lot of the heavy lifting in that movie.
I don't know, man. I love everything about Robin Hood. I love all the character designs, like everything. I just love
soundtrack does fucking rip.
everything about it is just perfect to me. Like,
We watched it again recently. Me and Barbara did, and it definitely holds up. My favorite of all time, which might be a surprise, is The Great Mouse Detective, as we mentioned earlier.
That's
I
my
watched
wife's
that
favorite.
So much as a kid. I'm sorry we have to keep doing this, but there's the whole mouse burlesque scene too.
Yeah.
Like straight up burlesque too.
hey, look, I feel
And they get drugged.
I feel normal finally for once because I'm sitting here like this is stuff that you can't talk about with a lot of people. This is what I love. That this is it, because it's like I love talking about this weird shit, because like it's funny when you start drawing these thorough lines, because like, the Sonic the Hedgehog fans are a big deal, like with their Rouge, the bats and all that, and I'm like, no.
It all started with Sally Acorn.
Sally Acorn. I'm more of a Bunny Rabbit guy myself, but Sally was right there with it.
You know what I like about Sally Acorn is that she started out naked, but she got hotter when they gave her the vest.
Yeah. The funny thing is about Sally Acorn is that for whatever reason, my brain has a hard time differentiating her and Alice from The Critic.
Because they had the same voice actress.
She wore a vest too.
They are similar energy too. Very.
I stopped there and I thought about it. Like, wait a minute, why did it?
Sexual awakening.
And did Buddy Rabbit, was the southern accent, did that do anything?
I mean, I ended up loving Rogue. I had to stop myself from saying Rouge and X-Men. I didn't know southern accents were my thing, but I'm like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, we're making some connections here. There's yarn going to other pieces with a little pin. I feel like, definitely Rogue as a kid too was another big one. But I do want to think about back to The Critic of somebody recently reposted the Penguins Can't Fly, which I thought was the funniest.
It's one of my favorite scenes of all time. Franklin Sherman is one of the funniest. Like, I know, kind of problematic because you're basically making light of alcoholism, but goddamn, you go back and you watch that show. The entire bit where he tells the story to Jay about how the travails he went through to meet his mom, to meet his wife, and it's Popeye. I lost my shit because I saw a friend of mine posting, like, I guess people are starting to kind of meme, when Popeye would flex his arms and it would have like an airplane turbine or something in it. Mm-hmm, and they're like, I'm surprised this didn't become a meme. And because Franklin Sherman already did it the best. The martini glass, done.
You know what I find so crazy about when cartoons like The Simpsons or Futurama, all the memes, they all seem to be from like the later, not as good seasons. And The Simpsons, so many Simpsons memes are from the Family Guy crossover.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Speaking of which, one of my frequently used memes I didn't know was from a Goofy movie. It's where they're at the Powerline concert and Goofy's twirling his nose or whatever. I had no idea. I just thought that was a random Goofy bit, and I was like, oh, everything's coming together.
I think the reason we haven't gone to Rescuers Down Under
because we didn't want to fuck any of the animals.
Yeah,
I think.
Let's yourself.
John Candy Albatross. I mean, come on.
Yeah, they make him juicy in this.
Yes, they do.
I mean, they really animate that albatross and his behind.
Now I do want to go back. Luke was saying this movie looked terrible. The 3D animation in this film is so blatant and not great.
I will say when McLeach is in his poacher mobile, that did look pretty cool.
I like the poacher mobile.
That's a pretty sick vehicle. That would have been a primo toy if the Rescuers got I could see that being a popular toy item.
Yeah, very toyetic.
Just the very Freakazoid reference. I appreciate.
Oh god, I love Freakazoid.
Is that where the toyetic line comes from?
That's where I learned.
That's the first time I ever heard it.
Oh, that's where I learned because he brings out the Freakmobile, his car,
and they literally define the term.
Yeah. Exactly.
The definition.
How toyetic! It shows up on screen, and I'm like, I'm gonna remember that word.
Another tangent, but do you watch the Venture Brothers?
Yes, I did not. I dropped off at season 4. Whatever the last episode. The last episode I remember watching fully was when they were having the prom for the boys. And they finally got Monstroso. I
kind of wish that had been the finale, but you don't need to know as long as you know about the Venture Brothers.
Okay. Oh yeah. I loved the Brock Sampson, top 10 character.
Toby Danger from Freakazoid. That
Dasho Pepper.
I always wondered if Jocks and Dot, if they ever saw that because it has so many like Venture Brothers type gags in it.
I mean, also we're talking about like all-time favorite lines that made me laugh the hardest as a kid. It was definitely when they have to go into the sewer and he's like, "We can't go down there." He's like, "Why? Poo gas."
Poo gas.
It's relatable. Duty water and poo gas. Nobody wants to smell that. Cobra Queen with her, if we can. Oh no, there were no snakes in Rescuers Down Under. There was. What am I saying? Yeah. That movie taught me the lesson that if you want to get someone to do something for you, you just get right up in their face. You stare at them and say, "Hey, you're not going to give me any guff." Works on anyone, I hear.
I think The two lessons of this is that you always need to get a really big bird to fly somewhere, and then eventually have a bunch of mice try to.
Okay, I guess we haven't even said what the plot was.
I guess we could.
I was going to say the one lesson I learned from this movie is don't wait to propose.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's a
there's
good point.
There's a kid whose name is Timmy.
I don't fucking know.
It's Timmy. It could be Timmy. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
I don't
the
like
boy
this
is
kid.
so unimportant. He's the MacGuffin of the movie, really.
As I was telling Andy earlier, I can't get over the fact that he looks like Bilbo Baggins from the animated movie The Hobbit, but with blonde hair, like 1-for-1.
Like when you
Like,
pointed
it's-
that out, that definitely like was one of those. Oh shit, you're right. Like,
Yeah.
but the thing, and I'm sorry if you hear anything in the background. One of our dogs is a little older, so she needs some help getting down the stairs. But
that's fine.
No worries.
one of the things that like Chris Sanders, who I remember looking with the way that kid's face is drawn. I'm normally not the best at picking out like particular artist hell, but it turns out Chris Sanders, who ended up creating Lilo and Stitch and also How to Train Your Dragon, had a role in this movie as a story, like as an artist. I don't know what his exact role is, but like it's funny when you can start to tell those things, like those particular way artists will draw eyes or whatever.
Yeah, I definitely see it. And the kid's name is Cody, which is funny because it is
Cody.
as generic as you can
That's
go.
the fucking most generic 90s name.
It starts out with him. He lives in a small house in the middle of the outback,
Australia.
miles away from anything. Yeah, Australia. But
Oh no,
Yeah,
that's
seemingly-
Australia. It's just one house in the middle of nowhere. That's your neighborhood.
And also, I should say before we get too far, this is also directed by Hindle Botany, who I'd never heard of before, and then Mike Gabriel, who did a bunch of stuff for Disney later, including directing Pocahontas.
Oh.
Yeah.
But so Cody has to go and save. He's the only human that. Is he the only human that can hear animals?
Hold on 1 second. Let me pull up some notes because I did have some I did my homework. I tried to take some notes. I mean, it's like my question was: is the kid special to be able to talk to animals?
Yes, so that's a through line from the Rescuers because the main character
Only kids can hear him, right? Is that
no, only specific people can.
Oh, okay.
They have
I
to be
missed-
touched by the devil.
I missed out on some of the Rescuers lore.
I mean, it was almost 20 years between the movies.
77 to
Explain
90,
that.
I believe, right?
Yeah.
If I
Yeah,
looked
Yeah,
into
they-
it, because I was like, wow.
13 years.
Yeah, it's one line. All you got to do. Or maybe I wasn't paying attention and they did have a line in there
No,
somewhere.
I guarantee they did not have a line in this movie about that.
Anyway,
I feel
okay.
confident in Martin's take.
No, they definitely didn't have it before we see the kid understanding a kangaroo talk.
Yeah.
Because, when the kangaroo sounds the beacon for him to come down and climb the tallest cliff in all of Australia.
I'm sorry to cut being that guy, but also kind of a MILF, right? The
What-
kangaroo?
Yeah,
Oh, the
kangaroo,
kangaroo, sure.
Just wanna-
Yeah, no, I wasn't
I'd agree.
really.
Okay, better That's
Well,
all
I was
needed.
I was very confused. Like, it was funny because my wife had seen the movie, but she hadn't seen it in years. So she's watching me try to figure out, and I'm wondering, like, do all the animals talk? And she's like, no, I don't think so. And then right after that, the kangaroo tells Cody, right? It's Cody,
Yeah.
Yeah.
is the name. Hey, we need you to go up on this gigantic cliff. We're going to send you on a dangerous mission because you are the only person out here.
The only one with
responsible.
thumbs.
Yeah.
And I guess birds can't talk because the eagle doesn't talk.
No,
Voiced
but
by
then the
Frank
albatross
Welker.
can talk.
Frank Welker doing a lot of heavy lifting as he does.
Yeah, he was also Joanna, I think, too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think in the I had to check out Wikipedia afterwards, and it's like
That little
assorted
freak,
other
absolutely.
sounds, and it's like, yeah, it's Frank Welker.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he loves doing those animal sounds.
Yeah.
And Fred Jones. He loves voicing that dude, too.
Also, I keep
Treasure!
interrupting too, but I thought an interesting thing is they were all based off the original Rescuers book by a woman named Marjorie Sharp, who had written them in the 60s.
But do they have the same name? Aren't they like Miss Bianca's?
Yeah, Miss
something?
Bianca's Adventures is like the sequel to it. And
I had no
this
idea it was a
like,
book series
really
until
good.
you mentioned it. I was like, God damn, really?
I saw the Wikipedia specifically said like a lot of people find the books more entertaining and witty. I'm like, damn, they're really being that book guy on the Wikipedia.
I bet I could see a book being better because there's definitely like a lot of like lore to this.
Yeah.
That
Now-
we're not that's seeing.
Something I will say that really impressed me. Like I actually got to say this isn't like some lost Disney classic. I felt like, but I did walk away from a thing, and that was fun. I enjoyed it. Like, if I watched this,
waste my time.
If I watched this as a kid, I probably would have loved it because I'm a big animal guy. You know, big on protection stuff like that. And I was like, there's a fun theme to it. I think McLeach is actually a really fun villain. There's a lot of real fun. I don't know. It's a fascinating.
It's a less preachy Fern Gully.
Yeah, and also getting George.
It's a less preachy Fern Gully.
Oh yeah, see Fern Gully. God, I saw that in theaters, and I don't remember liking it. And I remember the girl I was friends with was like, "Oh my God, I love this movie." So I bought it for her on DVD because I was like, hey, it was on sale. I worked at Best Buy at the time. I was like, cool. We go and we try to watch it, and I think we got like 20 minutes in before she's like, okay.
Fern Gully tries way too hard. It's a camel. It's just written by a bunch of studio executives.
And a bat that was experimented on by scientists played by Robin Williams should be a home run.
Rapping Robin Williams.
It's fucking annoying in that film. Oh my God.
Well,
that's probably as far as most people usually make it.
I remember even as a kid, I was like, God, this is annoying. Please stop.
It does have a cool villain though.
Tim
Haxis? Or he had like the weird smoke cloud thing voiced by Tim Curry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just remember his song. That's probably the best part of the movie.
Same with my wife.
And anything... We did The Shadow on this podcast once, and Tim Curry's easily the best part of that movie.
That weird time where there was like an interest in the old like pulp comic heroes, because I saw The Phantom with Billy Zane. I remember seeing that.
Oh God!
I will defend that movie. That is a solid movie.
Man, if you want your superhero to be dressed like a purple penis, you can't do better.
No, absolutely
I mean,
not.
they think they didn't give him the bright, because in the comics he always wore like trunks with like teal trunks with like a purple stripe, if I remember right. So hey, they robbed us of Billy Zane in that.
But that is another one where The Shadow and the Phantom, the studios, they were so sure of these movies. They were put toys and Coneheads was another big one.
Do you think specifically like the Phantom and the Shadow people, like when they got to 2008 and Iron Man made it, they're like, oh, that could have been us.
Do you know they're making a Phantom video game this year?
Really?
I don't believe
that.
The
purple Phantom, the one we've just been talking about?
Yes, the purple Phantom, not the Phantom from the Phantom Fireworks logo. Which
not the Funky Phantom either, right?
Not the Funky Phantom. Not the Funky Phantom.
Granted, I would go see a Funky Phantom movie. I like the Funky Phantom.
The Funky Phantom did show up in the Jellystone show, though, which was really funny.
I love Jellystone.
Oh,
I didn't watch Jellystone, but I watched Scoob, which was kind of just trying to be a Hanna-Barbera cartoon movie.
Well, I got pissed. So we watched Scoob because Scooby-Doo, timeless. You know, there could be a biblical full-blown apocalypse. Sorry if you hear my cat telling her to stop. But if there could be a full-blown biblical apocalypse, and there will somehow still be a new Scooby-Doo series that comes out, as far as I'm concerned.
Gotta be.
Reimagining.
Yeah.
So yeah,
we want to talk about sexual awakenings.
Someone will find, just like how Doom can be played on everything, Scooby-Doo will always exist, timeless. Yeah. But Scoob was.
I think it's a fun formula though, because of you can just do anything with it. Basically.
Well, Hanna-Barbera had their whole thing where they decided, hey, let's just adapt Scooby-Doo into different settings. So you got Jabberjaw, you got Speed Buggy, the Amazing Chan Clan, which was questionable then and questionable now.
Yeah. I mean, at least Agatha Christie started it.
Yeah. That's true. Stop it.
So as always, it's women's fault.
I liked Fangface, but what were you saying?
Fangface, that was it. Fangface was cool because at least it was a werewolf. That's pretty interesting. There was Inch High Private Eye.
That was another fun one.
All appeared on Harvey Birdman at one point or another. I don't think Fangface did though.
No, I don't think so either.
No.
Man, if we would talk about another show that's also aged really well, Harvey Birdman was way ahead of its time, I feel like.
Brilliant. Yeah. Genuinely. I typically don't do cosplay, but me and my buddy, we actually, for a Comic-Con one year around here, we went as Harvey Birdman and Philkin 7. And it was so exciting to see so many people who got it, because we were like, how many people do you think watched this show? And especially Bill, it was great because they'd see me wearing the wings and the mask that I'm pretty sure was going to kill me because it was like rubber. So I I was in con weather, so I was probably going to die. But the best is when they'd see me with the wings, I'd turn around, and then my friend dressed up as Philkin 7 would turn around, and they'd realize, oh, he's not alone! One of Steve Colbert's greatest roles, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, absolutely.
I also think about Peter Potamus on that, too. Did you get the thing I sent you?
Peter Potamus has had such a fascinating career because, he was, one of Hanna-Barbera's, flagship characters. They wanted him to be a bigger deal than he was.
Going back to Jellystone makes him a weird anime fan is one of the funniest things ever done with him.
I was cracking up whenever they would have, and they went hard into, researching that. Oh, yeah, no, he's going to say Gomen Nisai. I don't know if I'm saying it right. He's going to have
not one, but multiple Catgirl anime body pillows.
He has a katana. I think there was an episode where Top Cat and the gang had to hang out at his house, and they were just looking at all of his stuff. And I'm like, oh my god, I've been in this room.
Also, Top Cat playing it by why am I forgetting his name right now from Reno 911?
Oh, yeah,
Thomas Lennon.
great voice guys. McGilla Gorilla was Paul F. Tompkins.
You'd love that too. Yeah, it's a good show.
It was fun.
I feel like we're just advertising Jellystone.
We're just kind of talking about other cartoons because this movie is just so
boring.
No, it's fine.
I say this so many goddamn episodes, but we're avoiding it because the plot is going to go so fast for this.
Okay, so jumping back to one of the points I was trying to make, I will say this, stop it. Sorry about that.
She's got opinions too.
She's got opinions. She's got hard opinions on this pro-mouse propaganda movie. But I will say, the opening act of this movie moves at such a breakneck pace. I was actually really kind of impressed. And I gotta give them a lot of credit on the world building I was not aware what the rescuers were. So when I'm suddenly watching all these mice relaying a message from
that was
Australia all the way to, and it's just a random mouse. So that implies this is a secret society that has spanned generations. It was insane to me, and I'm like, how far is this going to go? We're at Hawaii. There's Chicago. Yeah. We didn't see it, which would have been fun. And then it's there's a whole mouse UN.
Yeah. I think it was two memories merging together, but I remember going to China and seeing racist mice do the message. And then I realized I just conflated the UN part together with all the outfits they have.
Well, there's also a UN scene from the first movie, which I remember that scene because when they show that Miss Bianca's going to be leading the mission, all the other mice really want to join the mission because they're all horny for her. Yeah. But no, it's the lowly Bernard mouse.
Yeah,
and once again,
Bernard's, based on that ornament we had, I thought Bernard was a bigger deal, and here he's just kind of your average every mouse, Yeah.
I think that's why he's supposed to be a big deal.
Yeah. The voice casting too with Bob Newhart. I love that guy.
He's great. That's something I can compliment this movie on. Voice cast is on point. Yeah. Everyone's doing a great
George
job.
C. Scott as the villain is so fun and perfect. John Candy, like I was saying, loves singing anything.
Funny fact with John Candy, this movie, and I think this probably could. I'm no box office analyst, but I would wager that putting this movie out on the same day Home Alone hit theaters, probably not a good idea.
No. Oh, that's definitely.
Do you think that everybody on the team, the executive producers, were
everyone at Disney Studios and John Candy, hey, I get a paycheck either way.
For the listeners at home, I put the hands on my face.
Yeah. You got the movie. You got to release it when you release it. But I definitely think John Candy, he's fine this movie. I feel like they kind of just told him, hey, just vamp, and we'll use what we can in these scenes.
And he got a suppository, right? That was a suppository for sure.
No, I think is it a suppository if you just get the injection in your butt? I thought it was something had to be put up there. I'm not a medical guy, so I don't know. I could be wrong.
I feel I just made a really great metal band called Needle Suppository. So.
Hell yeah.
Okay, we talked about the doctor scene a little bit earlier. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of... It reminded me a lot of the Sebastian and the Cook scenes from Little Mermaid. It's very much just just have a bit of fun away from the main action so kids don't get bored or get less stressed.
Yeah.
Even though it's very much why were they going to operate on him? We never.
He hurt his
was
back.
fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hurt his back, but like, why were they going to operate? What was that going to do?
I think the
Kill
doctor
him?
was
They were going to
crazy.
fix his spine.
I think the doctor was
I
crazy.
don't
They
know.
were going to fix his spine. They were going to cut him open and fix his spine.
Yeah.
That's
I
how
mean,
you-
yeah, that's just. I love that he has no right to refuse treatment for himself, and like,
And he does declare he's an American citizen, so...
yeah.
Such a
But yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
This
go
movie's pace just blows my mind because, like, you know, I went in thinking, okay, so there's probably going to be like the build up, and then the poacher probably can't. And it's like, no, the opening is you get this. I will say that CGI shot of the flowers was pretty cool. Looking at it from 1990 standards, the big like broad zoom in to the house and stuff. I don't know, like
I'll bet on a big screen that looked pretty cool.
yeah, like even on a small screen. But I'm also I will fully admit I am like pretty easily I'm pretty easily entertained. But I was just like
even like the night scene when they're flying out with Wilbur through New York with the storm is like I can tell that they knew the CGI was not what they needed to be. So like we got to put a lot of storm and a lot of fog in this bad
cover that
boy.
shit up. Like
Well,
the most glaring moment is when they swoop down and you see the car just kind of gracefully turn perfectly. No damage to the body or anything. Just kind of nudges into another car.
Well, that's what I kind of wanted to talk about earlier when I said this looked like shit. I feel like even scenes with the eagle, where when there should be these big like paintings and vistas that you're seeing, but then there's all these rocks that don't look as detailed in front of the picture, and just a lot of stuff like I feel like I should be seeing this, but instead they're showing me this, and also it's just a really dull color palette. I think
This was, I believe, Disney's first like fully digitally colored film.
Yes.
I could see that.
Yeah, I think
so much of it.
is
So
what
much of
it-
it, especially in the color, looked like television.
Yeah, I think it was the CAPS, CAPS or whatever. I don't know what it
Yeah.
stands for, but yeah, that was
Yeah,
like,
it's CAPS, Computer Animation Production System.
that was it. I mean, it's kind of a fascinating movie because you can tell like there was a lot of like hope put into this because they wanted to. Well, I mean, as much hope as you can really put in trying to capitalize on the Crocodile Dundee trend. I thought that
In all
character
honesty,
was going to be a bigger deal. Like, I'm so shocked at how little of this movie. It's all very inconsequential with our main cast.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's they're there to help out a little bit here and there, but like once again with the pace too, I feel like we didn't even skip over too much of the kid gets kidnapped after meeting the eagle because the poacher McLeach sees he has a feather.
well, if the poacher didn't know where the eagle was, I know he's trying to find like the egg hub, but he already had the eagle captured, right?
Well, we don't know if he did that. We also don't know how that eagle got caught up there.
Yeah, who tied up the eagle and then left it?
Man, I didn't think about that. That's horrifying. So, does that imply that there was another poacher out there? Like, what's the poacher population? There was going to be. I was kind of surprised to find out there was going to be a Rescuers 3, but is it Ava Gabor? I'm sadly...
Yeah, she passed away after this.
She passed away, and I guess when that was it, they were like, we're not doing any more with the rescue. We're not... Shelve it. The characters show up in House of Mouse, but everyone shows up in House of Mouse.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably for the best.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like, but it was funny, though, because I remember talking with my wife about it, and we were like, they could have probably gotten a little, like, one... Oh, actually, here was my pitch about I am surprised that when they were kind of doing more with Rescue Rangers coming back, I'm surprised they didn't just have the Rescue Rangers be an offshoot of the Rescuers and have Bernard and Bianca kind of show up. Like, I don't know, like the ending,
I've thought about this a lot,
the
too.
post-credit scene for that Chip and Dale movie that came out that was like,
You're talking about the John Mulaney,
yeah,
and Andy
they could have
Samberg
totally
one?
had it at
Lonely
the
Island
end
did it.
where like they come home and Bernard is sitting in. It's like Nick Fury showing up to tell them about we're putting together a team, the Rescue Rangers Initiative.
I mean, I'm kind of surprised they didn't do it. I guess it already was a metaverse thing. Everything's like
True.
metatextual, not even metatextual. Just remember all this stuff. Remember this.
Remember Ugly Sonic?
Remember whatever happened to Baby Jane.
That would have been. I mean, they did that for Space Jam too.
Exactly. That's why the hell was that? Oh, and what every kid wants, a Casablanca planet.
Yeah.
I want to go to the Casablanca planet where it's always World War II.
Well, no, I wanted to see the rapist from A Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
We did Space Jam 2 for Podzuki, and I still can't get over how wild that scope was for what they wanted to include.
Yeah.
I did not watch Space Jam 2. I didn't.
It's basically just where like they go inside like a computer that has all of Warner Brothers IPs in it, and basically it's just during the game you look at the crowd like, oh hey, there's Frankenstein Jr. or
Wow, we're hitting all the deep cuts tonight.
Yeah, they should have had Zaslav as the villain, but kind of like from Roger Rabbit, where he's just dipping them all in paint to get tax write-offs.
No,
I mean he's not.
Don Cheadle.
David Zaslav is not doing that as we speak.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
it's funny. He is kind of the villain from Roger Rabbit.
Well,
that's likable, though.
That's been the whole going joke with David Zaslav. When I started hearing about this guy, my immediate question is, who dropped a fucking piano on this guy's family member or something? Like, I have never seen someone who hates money that much, especially because, did you guys get to see The Day the Earth Blew Up?
No,
I did not care for it.
A friend of ours
Really?
She really liked
That's
it.
fair.
I gotta watch it.
I loved it, but I get it.
I think they completely got Daffy and Porky wrong. They got their dynamic wrong.
Did you
They
watch
got
it?
Daffy more like his first appearance.
Screwball Daffy, where he's just
rather than like
unhinged.
whereas like if you got Porky and Daffy, it should be more like Chuck Jones, where like Daffy's the crazy leader and then Porky Pig's the one who knows what he's doing.
Right.
Yeah. But instead they had to do the liar reveal thing that I can't believe movies are still doing that. But my thoughts on that are for a different time.
I have it downloaded.
I'm demanding I get back. I'm demanding I get asked back to be on the Day the Earth Blew Up episode.
I wanted to love it so much.
I'd be down for that because I do want to watch it. And it would be fun to do for.
I've got a lot to say about it if we wanted to.
Oh
do
yeah.
it, so.
Oh yeah.
I'm not the only other person that they could take your place would be get Slime to Garbage Man to fight with you about it. We gotta get him back.
That's fair.
Yeah.
All right, Rescuers.
Rescuers.
The whole plot of
Down
that
under.
movie can be summed up as: boy saves eagle, goes on majestic flight, lands in tiger trap. I'm assuming that. Or wait, no, they don't have tigers in the outback, do they?
No, I don't think so.
Falls in
I don't
trap.
know.
We could say
Poacher kidnaps kid, fakes his death, so we get
wait,
the
wait,
wonderful.
wait. The poacher didn't want to kidnap the kid at first. It was only when the kid was like, "Oh
He
yeah,
kept
the
being an
eagle gave
asshole.
me this feather as a gift."
That's true.
Because he's stupid.
Yeah.
Only
The
the kid
kid kept saying
discovered
too, like,
it.
poachers are illegal. I'm going to turn you into the police. Please don't do anything. In
The
retaliation."
Rangers.
A narc, huh?
Dude, this guy
Show you how we deal with narcs in the outback, son.
Shotgun.
Yeah. And but then I like that the turn is as soon as like the kid becomes too much of a problem, like, well, I could fake his death and then kill him for real. So it's kind of a wild take.
It escalates so quickly. Like, that movie is 77 minutes, and I do have to give them credit for them kind of seeming to realize, look, people are going to get bored probably.
Yeah.
But
We
it's
don't
funny.
need to do a big McLeach arch. He's just a bad guy.
And he was probably, I would probably say I could see a lot of, he seemed kind of like the inspiration. I mean, I don't know if there was any. He reminded me a lot of the villain from Atlantis.
I thought you were going to say Tarzan.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Well, Clayton,
That's another-
obviously, but I guess like the way he was drawn, particularly with his face.
You're right. Yeah, his jawline.
Like, he had that
Jawline,
real
that
pronounced,
nose.
his nose in particular, like, he had a very stone-faced kind of thing. Like, Clayton was a big, like, manly man. That was a man who, McLeach was kind of like, I don't know, McLeach genuinely looked, like, I gotta give them a lot of credit on how they animated McLeach, because that whole bit they're doing later on,
With the eggs.
with the eggs, that's some genuinely, I think, very charming, like, comedy where Joanna's, like, tricking him, and there's all the fun little, like, gesture-based kind of gags and stuff like that. I thought that was kind of
I like the gags. That's some of the few laughs I did get from the movie, but it felt a little out of place.
Yeah.
For just the kind of like, oh, hey, here's an old vaudeville type bit.
That movie is just a grab bag of everything because, like, you get the we were kind of touching on it earlier. You got those beautiful, majestic shots of this immaculately drawn eagle. doing and you have that scene where the eagle's taking him and they're doing the whole thing. And then you go to where McLeach keeps his other captives and you have that wacky little lizard.
Oh,
Everything in this movie feels so throw this in. Throw that in too.
And not one tarantula. I would love make it a good guy too. That'd be kind of a subverting your expectations.
That would have shocked me.
Yeah.
If it makes you feel any better, that lizard is definitely dead.
I do have a thought though.
They all are.
I wonder maybe this was just something they could throw out to try and get some animators trained up on 3D animation because this was before Aladdin, and that one definitely had a lot of digital stuff where we don't give a shit about this. Let's have a bunch of them work on it, and they can get trained up on these things that we're going to have them do in a couple of years.
I mean, the crazy thing is the movie actually was reviewed pretty good. Roger Ebert gave it 3. I think both Siskel and Ebert gave it 3 out of 4 stars.
Yeah.
And it's
improved on the original in a lot of ways.
I am a pretty harsh critic, so.
Oh no!
Especially of things that I used to enjoy.
Well, yeah, I think there's always that. There's a fine line between don't get me wrong, I have a lot of fond memories of the Super Mario Brothers movie, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you, no, it's actually a brilliant movie. No, it's kind of a mess.
Yeah.
Don't what's up?
It's got Mojo Nixon in it. Though.
I think Bob Hoskins almost died on the set of the movie. I think he almost drowned. I think him, Dennis Hopper, and John Leguizamo were drunk nonstop.
Yep. It was a good time.
I don't remember him dying. I know he got his hand fucked up in a mail truck they were driving. Just smashed his hand.
Yeah.
Have a flesh-colored
Bob Hoskins, consummate professional Bob Hoskins, who I was absolutely floored when I learned he was British.
That blew my mind. Also,
very British.
Incredibly British. He showed up in an episode of Tales from the Crypt when I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, hold on, that's Mario.
He's so good at doing this British accent.
Well, it's just also funny because if you watch his movies, especially Who Framed Roger Rabbit, his accent's not great all the time, but it's such a cartoony movie. You don't
he's so committed. He's so committed to it. He leans into that.
And then I love the surprise you'll get because Barbara loves the movie Spice World, which is a delightful film, and he just shows up and it's Bob Hoskins.
Just one scene and it just says girl power, right?
Yeah. Basically.
One of the Spice Girls turns into him and he says girl power.
Yeah. I like that the alien show. We should watch Spice World for this.
Yeah, I watch Spice World.
I've never seen it. The most I know about Spice Girl, I was aware of the Spice Girls, but I think most that I remember is one of my friends, his sister had the video game, and it didn't look very fun. I could be wrong.
No, the video game's not good.
I knew lots of people that were into the Spice Girls, but I resisted it. And I don't think it was just because they were girls, because I knew boys who were into Spice Girls. I think I just did resist. Spice Boys was funny.
Spice Boys was the official term they gave themselves. It was kind of like how bronies, Spice Boys. Not to be confused with Spice Men, who are for people who are into Dune.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we gotta separate the Spice Boys from the Spice Men.
Yeah, Dune is serious, okay?
Yeah, this is for the big
science
boys.
fiction can't be fun, damn it.
Yeah, I don't get me started on Dune. Anyway,
what else do we got to get about? What else do we have to say about the mice come? There's some trouble, but then they end up saving the boy.
Yeah. The mice come. They get there by Wilbur. It's a real
the John Candy Bird.
The John Candy Bird.
John Candy Bird.
Once again, it goes really fast. I like that they get to
Who
the
is
back.
Just to get? I mean, it's supposed to be the brother of the albatross from the first movie.
You got some
I
fun
guess
lore.
The actor died.
Yeah.
And also the names. I'm not 100% sure he's dead. I assume that's what it
probably
was.
He's dead now.
Because it was definitely dead now. But
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Again, the original one was named Orville, and this one's Wilbur. So Wilbur and Orville, the right brothers.
Gotcha.
A little bit of fun.
There's fun little gags throughout this movie. It's just such a weird, it doesn't overstay its welcome, but it almost leaves too fast to make much of a lasting impression.
Yeah. There were a lot of things that I feel like they set up and then there could have been 5 more minutes to just tie some of these loose ends up.
Yeah, like those, like I think it was mentioned earlier. You mean like all the animals that we kind of bonded with that were trapped in McLeach's basement, and then it's like, are they going to go back and save them?
Well, yeah, it's so weird how the movie ends with a joke that was probably improvised by John Candy with the eggs he's sitting on hatching. You don't see the mother reunited with the born chicks. You don't even see the chicks being born. That's why I assume it's probably improvised because it's all happening off camera.
You don't see Cody's mom fucking losing her goddamn shit because suddenly I thought my boy was dead, but a fucking eagle brought him home.
I'm losing it.
Like coming out, like opening the door, like she's just drenched in tears out of it. Opens the door, like what the. That's how the movie should have ended. Her opening the door and just what the, and then it just cuts off just before the fuck. And
it's almost like they went up to right when they ran out of money.
Yeah,
like okay, we're completely out of money now. Just do some John Candy vamping over.
Get in, get out.
I had to confirm it too for Orville from The Rescuers. Jim Jordan did die in 1988, so that's why.
Oh, the good Jim Jordan.
Yeah,
I was gonna say it's weird to hear that word, that name, not associated with.
This is the OG Fibber McGee right here, baby.
Damn.
Yeah. They going back to the plot. I also like that they meet Jake, the Australian hopper mouse, like right away. And once again, bam, bam, bam. It's like, hey, I'm here to help. Let's go. I'm gonna hit on your wife, future wife, I should say.
There's barely any conflict.
Yeah.
He's just kind of a smooth operator, but also I like that when he sees like Bernard doing stuff. He's like, you know what? I don't need to get in the way of that guy.
Yeah. Jake was his name, right?
Yeah, Jake.
Yeah, Jake was a bit of a bro. He was like, you know what? Like you said, I'm good.
Yeah.
Other mice will come my way.
It really was just, like you said, like he hits on her, kind of, and is kind of just dismissive of Bernard, but it's not enough to really hang a plot on.
Yeah.
No.
Also, what kind of child's going to care about this love triangle that's not actually happening in front of them?
I mean, kind of like what's said, like they kind of like seemed like they had ideas they wanted to do, but somebody was like, 77-minute runtime. Cut that shit out.
Do it.
Cut that shit out. We're getting in. We're getting out. We're going to go make a lab.
We didn't get the Hogan money we needed. He's only here for a few scenes.
Watching this in my mid-30s, I definitely appreciate that.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how, I will look at the running time before I watch a movie nowadays.
I'm the same way, because I'm like, oh, God. Because I am one of those people, like, I still have... I like Batman, like most... I'm actually wearing... Oh, this isn't a Batman shirt, but, the yellow and black motif. Well, Bruce Lee fan too, but in general.
I also don't have a job like Batman,
or a fan of the Bride from.
But I have not watched that new Batman movie, despite getting nothing but good things told to me. Because I'm like, how long is it? 3 hours?
I did enjoy it, but it is also too fucking long.
I really did enjoy it.
But at the same time, I will watch 3 episodes of The Sopranos, no problem.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sure. I that's kind of why I can't hate The Rescuers Down Under, because it just feels very it kind of knows its place in retrospect. Yeah. Like, hey, this is and it's the first sequel I think they made too, right?
Yeah, the first theatrically released sequel.
Theatrical release sequel, right?
Yeah. Which it really is kind of just
who was the big Rescuers fan who decided, you know what? They could go to Australia.
They could go down under.
I actually was kind of thinking that what the age group of people who would have been in this movie, and my guess is maybe Gen Xers, older Gen Xers, because they probably who'd been born the mid 70s, they probably would have been able to see this movie when it came out on home video or as it came out in theaters, and then they would remember it. And then you got John Candy in there to get the younger kids, but yeah, I don't know. I can't imagine that they made this other than we want artists to be trained up on digital coloring, or we have all this money we need to spend, or else we won't be able to claim it next year.
Yeah, it really does feel once again, Michael Eisner being we're figuring out all this stuff to do the Disney Renaissance properly after this. Once again, I'm sure adult Disney fans could tell us, but I don't want to hear about it. I do not want to hear from you.
No,
I don't have anything against
That's
them,
fair.
but the plot is very, like you said, breakneck speed, because after the boy gets trapped, the boy gets released, but then he gets captured again after a whole bunch of shenanigans in the background. The mice get there just in time as he's being captured again. They're all stuck in that really cool animated vehicle as they go to get the eagle after the boy was kind of released, but then he captures him when he goes to where the eagle is.
Yeah, his plan was to release the boy, tell him, like, oh, I heard on the radio the bird was shot, so now the boy wants to go and protect the eggs.
Yeah.
So it leads him right back to it. So again, the boy's a stupid idiot.
Yeah, but also not a bad plan on the villain's part.
He is a little boy. I'm just more surprised that he could remember where the eggs were. I mean, the eagle.
It's the Outback. I mean, what else? He clearly doesn't go to school, right? Like, do you think this all took place on a Saturday? Like, it's like, how did you spend your spring break? Oh, let me tell you the ways.
And he doesn't have an accent, right? He's got an American accent.
No, he's got an American accent.
Yeah. Well, apparently they wanted to
but
get
not really.
somebody. They wanted to get someone from Australia, but I guess it was some little footnote in the Wikipedia article where they're like, and then I think it was Katzenberger. I always forget his name, but
That would have
he
been,
said,
yeah.
"Nope, make him a generic white kid. We already got a kid. Just
Great.
milk toast."
I mean, probably why he lost the job.
I mean, once again, why he's called Cody, you know, it's like I can't think of a more perfect, like,
Yeah.
white
And then
bread name
Then he started DreamWorks and had 10 beautiful years.
before they put him down. R.I.P. Eisner. I mean, actually, he didn't do as bad as Bob Iger. Anyways, going back to the plot. So they get to where the eagle is. They capture him. I should say McLeach does. He sends down Goanna to get the eggs. That whole scene's very entertaining to watch. They really animate the shit out of that Goanna.
Not to be a dick, but did you say Goanna?
Well, the lizard's a Goanna. It's Joanna.
Joanna the
No,
Goanna.
I was like,
Joanna.
I had to stop and think about that. I'm like, wait a minute, was its name Goanna this whole time, and I've just been calling her Joanna like an idiot?
But I guess it is fun because then the full name would be Joanna the Goanna.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun. Yeah.
Oh, another JoJo.
Yeah.
There you go.
A Joestar?
Brilliant little nickname. I feel like that if that movie took off, there would probably be a lot more Joanna merch out there.
Yeah.
I do like that Joanna didn't die with the villain.
Yeah.
I
The
was
comical, one of the few funny scenes in when she realizes that he's going off the cliff and does the little sad wave.
Yeah.
Before he realizes it.
Yeah, that's so good.
That's a good
I mean, that is a man who fought off alligators or crocodiles and thought he was king of the world.
Yeah, just for one second. Also, I like that they show you him falling off to like be like he's going really far. This guy is not living.
He falls like a fucking mile.
Well, then the kid, we think, but then of course you get the majestic eagle swooping in.
Yeah.
I mean, how cool must that be to just have an eagle as your friend?
I'd love to see like one of those like parent prank re-edits where the eagle goes down, you don't see him come back up, and then it just cut to black. The end.
Finn just comes up and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finn, fuck you.
Thank you so much for watching The Rescuer 6 Feet Under.
cuts back to
Just
Bernard and
Garden
Bianca.
Children.
Ooh, we should have done something.
Proposes and she says no and goes off with Jake. We know. It's so easy to write a Rick and Morty story. I feel like.
And it's funny. I really do need to watch The Rescuers now because Bianca really just kind of feels she literally exists in that movie to observe things and to be sought after.
Yeah, she's very much a Nick from The Great Gatsby in this film, I feel like.
In this film, she helps Jake get the keys up.
That's
on the
true.
outside of the truck.
That is true.
But that's about it.
Yeah.
That was
So,
like
yeah,
the
she's-
height, right?
Yeah. Well, I guess she also keeps Bernard more positive.
Yeah. Keeps him grounded.
Yeah.
But why is the woman having to do the work for that?
I'm more so they seem to have a pretty good system of like getting messages across, but why does it have to go to New York and then people from New York go to Australia? They don't have agents in Australia that are maybe just as capable.
I thought about that because I'm like, well, wait, why didn't you send Jack to go do it?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I thought Jack's little buddy, didn't he have like a little fly or?
Playing Jack
yeah.
Rizzo with? That was apparently smarter than him, too?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was smarter
I guess-
than him. Thought he was being kind of a doofus, hitting on.
I really
Bianca.
thought there was going to be more of that fly.
I thought so too.
attitude.
I was like, oh, that's his companion, and there's probably going to be some fun back and forth. Maybe we'll learn their backstory. No.
Yeah.
Exit scene.
Let's
Get out.
Yeah, 77 minutes.
I'm positive it's all explained in the first Rescuers, where they're like, these two are the best agents ever. They're the mouse equivalent of James Bond.
That's a good point.
I'm pretty sure in the first one it's actually Bernard, like, accidentally ends up going. He's just like a janitor for the Mouse UN.
That was kind of the vibes I got. Like, he was very much an unexpected hero. Like, because the first time you see him in that movie, I'm thinking to myself, yeah, this is the second movie. I'm sure they're doing great. They're at a fancy restaurant. I did really appreciate, going back to the world building, though, just how much thought was put into how these, because you mentioned the thimble, the pea soup.
Yeah.
There was a lot of creative fun with how can mice do this stuff, because it also ties into when the crazy doctor and his little legion of exactly the same looking nurses helping them out, and they have like elaborate pulley systems and all this other
stuff like that's great. Yeah, that secretive Nim type stuff.
Yeah. It's really fun. But yeah, I feel like it's that thing of they really did think about it, and once again, I think they we just need to have these set pieces, so it's going to look really great, but we're not going to focus on it too much either.
Katzenberg standing there with a watch, like, it's 77 minutes.
The little Hawaiian mouse with their little num keypad too that they use. That was really fun.
All their Hawaiian shirts. I'm like, that is so. And then when you think about it, there's apparently proprietors of mouse fashion worldwide where you can get Hawaiian shirts, fancy dresses. Because there was that couple that
Kangol hats.
Yeah,
but no pants.
Like everything. But apparently only Mouse Society has those things, right? Like
Bugs don't get it. They're like, Bugs, you get to live in sin.
Well, they're the most cultured.
The Bugs were running the restaurants.
That's true.
The Bugs did have clothes on in the restaurant, though.
Yeah.
I thought
that's fucked up.
I thought their buddy
Jack's...
Francois, who again, another character who I thought was going to be a bigger deal. I thought that was like Bernard's friend. Like, oh yeah, this is who I get like my info from, because his name was Francois, right? Wasn't he wearing a little tuxedo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With, like multiple armholes.
So I guess the bug that's Jack's friend is a nudist, which I guess kind of makes sense for Australia.
Maybe that's why he couldn't take him on the bench. He's like, I don't want to explain it. It's a lot of work.
I kind of assume being a nudist, it's really just one of those, like, it's a common choice. Like, it's not like Island of Dr. Moreau kind of thing where it's like, no, shed your human, your clothing. We must embrace being an animal. It's like, do what you want.
I will say, my building has mice, and I put out traps. I would feel a lot worse about it if I suddenly saw some wearing clothes.
That's a fucking horrifying thought.
They wouldn't even need to talk.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Wearing clothes is enough.
That would be the saddest morning. You wake up and there's two mice in the trap, and they're both dressed as like girl and boy holding hands. Oh boy!
I don't like where this. Jeez, kids, can you lighten up a bit?
America. We should get to. We should
don't
get
like
to
Mouse
reviews.
Grave of the Fireflies.
Yeah, everybody's
God.
fine, and then they go home to love and eat shit and eventually die. No, they're cartoons. They actually never die. So
I mean, I had to stop and think about that. Like, what if that's Jack's friend, but what if he died later that day because of the short lifespans of those bugs? What if it's just a family that he's friends with, and every time there's a new one, they just come by? Yeah, it's just constantly. I just have to make new friends.
One of the best jokes I think in Bug's Life is when they have the flies that live for 24 hours.
Oh yeah, gotta get all your living in right then and there.
Yeah.
I only got one day to live. I gotta waste it watching this.
Yeah. Man.
You mean one of the best interpretations of the Seven Samurai, the Bug's Life?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I also love Three Amigos.
Three Amigos is good too.
Three Amigos is good. A lot of.
Yeah.
Trying to think if there's any connection, because there's been a lot of weird, funny connections with Rescuers Down Under. Because I don't know, it continues to baffle me. Because it's like, again, I can see why this movie probably hit for a lot of people, but I can also understand why it just kind of exists.
Yeah.
You could make a connection with like old Hollywood, because there's the beginning part of the travelogue scene that's very much like Lieutenant Captain Adventure 1920s.
Indiana Jones,
serials.
if you like, that's why I think my mind kind of jumped to like Romancing the Stone for whatever reason, a movie I don't think I've ever actually seen. But like, I think they wanted to do like an adventure movie, is what they really wanted to do with this.
Yeah, and I think that would have been great if there maybe. I guess there's tons of action in this. I just don't care.
Yeah. It's also disconnected. Like, again, when you look at it, I feel like you could probably remove the Rescuers portion of this movie, and maybe made just a movie about a kid in the outback who made a bunch of animal friends. And
No. I don't want that. I only want
no,
the rescuers.
I don't want that. But I'm just saying, like, that's kind of the funny thing. You could also then remove all the McLeach, or not even McLeach, have him be the villain, remove the kid, and it turns out the rescuers are... But then again, that goes against what the rescuers are about, because isn't their whole thing rescuing kids?
Well, they can still rescue the kid. I just don't want to see the kid until he gets rescued.
Okay, that's fair. Fair exchange. Because that whole opening goes on for a while, and I'm like, oh yeah, the rescuers.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they could have done better of like showing the kid, then maybe he's like not in danger right away, then we get a little bit of the rescuers. It's some wasted potential, but again, Michael Eisner.
Well, I feel like honoring the 77 minutes, we gotta get to those reviews.
Yeah, we are going long with this one.
I think for the rating system, we're gonna give it 5 out of 5 Disney villains falling off a cliff. I'd give this a good solid 3.5 out of 5 Disney villains falling off a cliff. It is enjoyable. Before I can even get upset at it, once again, the runtime is such a dynamite thing of like, I'm getting bored, it's done, they did all the beats, everything was... I think the animation was pretty fun. The CGI definitely, oh boy, but you could tell like they were experimenting with it. But,
90s CGI.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it's there's some standout points and some funny scenes. So yeah, it's a good solid just above average 3.5, I'd say.
Yeah, I'll say it's a 3 out of 5 because I had a lot of memories watching this as a child. I remember watching it all the time, even though I remembered very little of it.
Right.
It is a fan of animation history. I find it pretty fascinating too, like in trying to speculate and maybe see if I can find any info about why this movie exists. I know I postulated that it could be to train animators up on digital animation, but I was thinking that Oliver and Company and Great Mouse Detective were before this, and they both use, I think, computer-generated graphics better than...
Well, I think a lot of the team from Oliver and Company were actually brought over to work on Rescuers Down Under.
The rest of the Dog Pound.
So maybe it was just specifically the coloring they were trying to get.
Yeah.
If my assumption is correct.
I feel like I'm going for that.
Well, I watched...
We're making it fact.
Yeah, I watched the Dexter's Lab movie recently.
Oh, Ego Trip, right?
Yeah, in which I was very fascinated by, like, because Dexter's Lab is such, like, a gag show, and Ego Trip is almost all action scenes and, like, big matte painting vistas, and, like, I bet he was using this to train his animators up so they could work on Samurai Jack a couple of years later, because so much of it is, like, stuff that you'd be seeing in Samurai Jack from Genndy Tartakovsky in a couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, Tartakovsky, man, he's, like, probably one of the big, like, heroes going nowadays.
He is the best visual storyteller alive today, I think.
I mean, you think about that with Samurai Jack, the reboot, and then also Primal, like,
Primal is like, that he can do so, he knows how to do so much. He understands that, like, dialogue's fun, you can do great things with dialogue, but you should be able to do it without dialogue as well.
I mean, there are whole episodes of Samurai Jack you can look at as just like, this is animation. Like, this is, it's funny when you watch, I love watching interviews. I still think one of the biggest things we got robbed of was his Popeye movie.
Absolutely. Oh, have you seen the full animatic of it?
Yeah, and I'm just sitting here like, I am so mad right now because I stumbled across some, like, notes apparently or whatever he got, and it's like one of those things where it's like you hear about how you hear like gags or jokes about how out of touch like executives are, but I guess some of the notes they gave to Tartakovsky, from what I understand, is like, do kids know what a sailor is nowadays? Sailing is still a thing.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we haven't gone through all the water yet.
Some dumb executive like, kids see boat. Like,
it's good, but will it get them off their tractors?
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'm talking myself into it as a fan of, if you like animation and animation history, it's an interesting footnote of when a lot of changes were happening in movies in general.
And also just the culture of this, like the 90s, like so stamped directly.
And I was thinking about the people who this for, people who were who were young children when the first one came out, or adults when the first one came out, because maybe they were alive in they're definitely alive in the 30s. I'd say.
You hope so.
Because if you were born in 1920, you would have been 70 when this movie came out, which is not that old, even for back then.
Is that what Australia's like?
I thought it was all criminals there.
Not too
I did have to drop a few Simpsons references during this because it's like when Cody ran out of his house, and I'm like, oh, did he break the bidet?
But yeah,
off the
fan
line.
of animation, if you should check it out. But if you're not, you could probably skip it.
I'll give this a 3 out of 5. I also have I've got a great affection for this movie. I watched it a lot as a child, and I was very surprised while watching it where I thought I would remember more of it as it happened, but there's just so much less of it than I thought there was.
Yeah, well, even when I talking about Dexter, I had a few things I was like, "Oh crap, that was in there deep." I didn't remember, but as soon as I saw it, I remembered it. But yeah, there was kind of the little lizard guy from the prison scenes.
Yeah.
Again, if this film had just 5 more minutes, I feel like I would love it a lot more. Where I just needed some closure on some things. I needed to see those animals free.
Eisner!
I needed that mother to know that her son wasn't fucking dead.
Yeah, that's
Paper
why.
isn't cheap.
Yeah.
Paper is not cheap. But it was all digitally colored. It's fine.
Digital papers.
Digitally colored.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's still drawn on paper.
Actually-
Anyway, sorry. Vandy, what is your review?
Let's see. I guess I better say before our dogs go nuts. But I would give it a solid 3 out of 5. I think it's as inoffensive as you can probably get for an animated feature. It's got some fun elements there. You know, you got your John Candy, real fun villain. I actually think McLeach in particular kind of stuck out to me as a fun villain. I think, the out-of-place vaudeville stuff was kind of silly, but
This is
just him in general
gonna be
was
like a
fascinating.
really-
Oh, continue.
So I just want to say, a really, really late Moth RuPaul's Drag Race drop. His style and his drip was next level too. That outfit was it was so good. I loved it.
He had a real
got the duster on?
McLeach in general just kind of had a weird style about him because you mentioned Clayton from Tarzan, but McLeach really just kind of came off he looked like a poacher. He looked like a guy who lived in a shack, ate just stuff that he killed. This is a
And
man
chicken
who
eggs.
clearly lives off the land.
Well, he loved being sleazy.
Oh, yeah.
Which is why he was a good villain. I love that he was voiced by George C. Scott, which I didn't know going into this.
That shocked me. I was and he gives it his all.
I'm thinking
It's great.
Yeah, you were talking about the Atlantis connection. I think he's designed maybe to look like George C. Scott, and the villain in the Atlantis probably was designed to look a bit like
just-
him
Ooh, I
too.
like that. Yeah.
big
'Cause,
military guy. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, there's one scene in particular where I don't think it's George C. Scott doing the voice though. When he's singing the Home on the Range part, I'm almost positive it's a voice double because it just doesn't sound like him. And I know there's
Sitting there,
I
I'm
know
not doing that.
Yeah.
Granted, I had to go through a little. Sorry.
I was gonna say, maybe he was
I
too
had to go
drunk.
through a little patrol through George C. Scott's filmography, and that man has done everything from theater. But the movie of his that really kind of stuck out to me is he's in a movie where a trained dolphin is sent to kill the president.
Oh yeah.
Let me find what the name of the movie was, but going back, I'll send it to you later. But George C. Scott is just a fascinating actor.
He was also old school Hollywood alcoholic.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, you know what? There you go. McLeach definitely struck me as a man who probably was an alcoholic.
Oh, I'm sure he enjoyed to tipple every now and then.
just a tipple. But yeah, I would say Rescuers Down Under. Nothing to go out of your way. I was going into it thinking we'll see how this is, and it's not a Disney classic. It's not some hey. It kind of we were talking about a Goofy movie. A Goofy movie has kind of aged very gracefully.
Yeah.
That movie just celebrated its 30th anniversary, I think, and it just got that whole documentary talking about the impact it had. There will be no documentary talking about the impact the Rescuers Down Under had. It's very much just an interesting sort of footnote, as you said, in Disney's history where you could... I will say, it does look like it is a fascinating look at how animation was changing. Right at the cusp of the 90s where you started to see CG computer-generated stuff getting used. It's rough around the edges. I think you could still... there were still some matte paintings in this movie, if I remember right?
Yeah,
There's
and
some-
the lines between television and movies are blurring a little bit as well.
Yeah.
I think it's funny because it's like rough around the edges because like it's all edges, baby. There's not enough polygons to round anything out.
I mean, when I saw those cars when Wilbur swoops down and he makes a crash, I'm like, man, those cars didn't even like collide with each other. One just kind of shifted into the other one.
One of them just screaming, "My Y-axis!"
This movie came out the same year as the DuckTales movie as well.
Woohoo.
Now that's a favorite of mine. That's like one of my. I watched that all the time as a kid. Like
Yeah, that was
that
another
entire
one that we had the tape for.
that entire intro is probably one of the best Indiana Jones parodies I think of all time. Seeing them use the marbles to like.
Oh, it's also
set up
specific.
traps.
Specific memories too of the way they made that Wish ice cream look so good.
They really did. I always thought about that. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Think about
I
the
just
Wish ice
remember
cream
going
a
like,
lot.
damn, I really want ice cream watching this movie, and I never knew why.
It's like perfectly goopy, but you can tell it's ice cream with the consistency how they animate it. Somebody put a lot of love into that scene.
None of those ad nauseum mashed potato ice creams.
Nah.
TV commercials.
Oh, I hate those.
Premium quality genie ice cream delivered from the heavens or wherever the
Manda.
genie would pull it. Jumping, now that you mentioned the DuckTales movie, thinking that it came out like at the same time. Man, it's crazy to think how the DuckTales movie honestly did like kind of the more epic plot.
Yeah.
Like that movie ends with a tower collapsing. That's after that genie guy like.
They go all out. For
They
that
do.
movie.
Like, I remember the end of that movie genuinely being one of the coolest things I had ever seen in my life at that point because Scrooge Tower turns into a giant, horrifying, like, monolith, and this guy turns into a monster, and Scrooge McDuck's fighting him, and I'm like, this is nothing like the NES game. Like, this is freaking
Great soundtrack,
cool.
though.
Like,
And they actually have, like, show you the ending rather than just having it end very abruptly.
it really does. Like, it was funny when it cuts to the not the post credits thing, but when it cuts to there was a brief moment where my wife thought McLeach survived. That was him talking. And I was like, wouldn't that have been cool as hell as like a sequel hook where he just crawls out, you see his hand come out of the river.
McLeach survived.
Yeah.
But yeah, like,
Back.
I think it's worth watching if you've never seen it, but it's not something where it's going to be like, yeah, people are going to be again talking heavily about the Rescuers Down Under. It's just kind of a fascinating. I think I've heard more people talk about Joanna than I have the actual movie.
There's really nothing this movie does that other movies don't do better.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's just a weird little footnote. It's setting up. It's a good setup for what the future holds.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a really good male feminist where it's like it knows it doesn't need to take the spotlight. It's not doing a lot to help, but it's not doing anything to hurt anything. So
Exactly. Like I can't say I feel like my time was wasted watching it, which, like the worst thing a movie can do, in my opinion, is be so bland and forgettable that I hated watching it because like I got nothing out of this. But I can think back on Rescuers Down Under and go, yeah, there were some fun bits there.
Yeah.
Like,
It's really fun, good stuff.
I'll
feel like-
I'll probably try and draw Joanna at some point for funsies.
Hell yeah.
That's a good lizard.
Yeah,
I feel
some
like
great lizard.
because we're running a little bit long. We're gonna
Sorry.
we're gonna. Oh no! Don't be.
not your
Don't
fault,
be.
Okay.
It's my friggin' daughter. No.
I run my
Yeah,
mouth.
yeah.
I'm sorry. This is my first podcast.
Yeah. We're glad to have you, but we do have to do our stupid games section. But I love to do the abbreviated version, which is we're gonna play one game,
Stupid games.
which is how tall is Steve Buscemi.
How tall is Steve Buscemi? Let's see.
We can all guess because I'm not joking. It's not a bit. I've forgotten yet again how tall he is.
Trying to think here.
5'8" what I'm gonna say.
I feel like it's 5'11".
I was gonna say 5'11" because I'm 5'11", and whenever I remember watching Reservoir Dogs, and Steve Buscemi's kind of a rat-looking kind of guy. Like he looks like he would he looks like he would do the voice of a Dr. Rat in a Disney movie. Like I'm amazed at it. Has Steve Buscemi ever done like a voice acting role in a Disney movie? He's had to.
I'm looking that up right now.
I don't think so.
It feels
'Cause I
like
know-
he has though.
He was Starscream in Transformers 1, which was really, really well done. I mean, the movie is a mixed bag, but he was perfect.
The
as
Michael
Starscream.
Bay one or the
No, Transformers
Animated.
1, the animated one that is actually like it's a good
Oh,
movie.
Starscream. I was thinking the one with Orson Welles.
Oh, Unicron.
like that
that
one.
was Unicron in the 1986 Transformers movie, which with Robert Stack.
Oh, how could I forget? He was in Monsters Incorporated.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, that's
Great,
right.
that's a great Buscemi role.
Who's he?
That's a
in
good
that movie?
Okay, that makes sense.
He's
Because
Randall
again,
Boggs.
he's
I've
one of
actually
the
never
Steve
seen that
Buscemi
movie.
is one of those people where if he's gonna do the voice in a cartoon, the character has to look like him. It's kind of like when you have what's his name? He's in The Princess Bride. He was in a Goofy movie. He was Rex from Toy Story. Something Wallace.
Oh yeah, George Wallace.
George Wallace. Because when he shows up, when his character, he's the
Wallace
principal in
Shawn.
the Goofy movie,
Oh, that's what.
and when that character,
Wallace Shawn.
George, yeah,
Wallace,
Wallace. George
okay.
Wallace is
right.
a good choice.
Inconceivable.
When he shows up, when that principal shows up in a Goofy movie, I'm like, that guy's voiced by the guy who does Rex from from Toy Story. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
He opens his mouth, and I'm like, it's required. It is in the contract. If you look a certain way, all your characters are going to look like you.
I mean, that's the ultimate compliment. I feel like.
I think so too. Steve Buscemi is great. I mean, always gives it his all.
Well, Steve Buscemi is also one of those dudes as far as like attractiveness, like how he combs his hair. He'll be either the ugliest dude you've ever seen or the most attractive man you've ever seen.
That's the whole plot of like Boardwalk Empire. It feels like almost.
Man,
What is your guess for how tall Steve Buscemi is?
My guess, I would probably say 5'11" because I feel like I could look Steve Buscemi in the eye.
Ryan, I feel
Also,
like you remember.
he looks very
did
small in Reservoir Dogs, which is where like my mind always jumps to when I think of Steve Buscemi. And he just like everyone else, like Michael Madsen. I don't know how tall he is, but he seems like a big guy. And Steve Buscemi looks like, I don't know. That's my when he's paired with other people, he looks like he's probably average height. So I'd say 5'11".
All right. Yeah, he does look like a petite man in that film. I do
Yeah.
agree with that.
Now you're looking
guy.
at how tall Michael Madsen is.
Steve Buscemi is 5'9".
I seem to remember there was a little bit of contention of whether it was 5'8" or 5'9".
It is
We
5'9".
saw different info.
I remember
I
because
measured
Steve
the
Buscemi
man.
is exactly 69 inches tall.
I trust him.
We'll go. I like going forward. We'll keep 5'9" rather than.
Michael Madsen's he's a Brandon height. He's 6'2".
Oh man, Michael Madsen wrote poetry. He used to write poetry, which I've always wanted to like get a copy of one of his books because I remember when he wrote one, he went on to the Henry Rollins TV show on IFC.
Oh,
and he
man.
read one of them, and it was one of the worst poems I've ever heard. It was about a Zippo lighter, and it was like you first start writing poetry, and
That sounds like-
you're a jerk who drinks coffee and smokes.
Yeah, when I think of
So
what
you write a poem about that.
when I look at Michael Madsen, that is definitely a man who would write mediocre poetry about his lighter. I wouldn't tell him it's mediocre to his face. I'd be terrified he's gonna fucking cut my ear off.
That's what I was saying. Is like I'd love to find out he's a listener and he's getting so pissed.
It's one of those you'd hear him say it, and you go like, "Wow."
Yeah.
He's
Okay,
making
yeah.
notes. Note to self: go to Chicago.
I'm not afraid of him.
I'd be a little intimidated.
He's pretty old now. I mean,
True.
There's a lot of old
I think
guys
you
who
can still
kick
tango.
ass. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't have
I feel
fucked with
like-
George C. Scott, like no matter what age he was. Like that man was.
he was just crazy.
I'm not gonna mess with the guy who played Patton. He'll fucking kill me.
Yeah.
Like in front of a giant American flag too. I don't need that. We could get to good old recommendation plugs. I'll just go first because, as usual, I'm going to plug Thirst for Adventure every second Thursday at the Lincoln Lodge, the D&D comedy show I do with Hobart Thompson and a few other friends to get a bunch of comedians and artists and people we like to play one-shot characters. Really good. Go there, do it.
I hope to make it to one of those one night because that sounds like an absolute.
We've been
blast.
doing some really fun shows. The last one was fantastic. I get to play a horny vampire party guy named Count Astier, which was really fun. It was a good show. But I should say for recommendations too, because I'm just doing it all together. I'm gonna just recommend Final Fantasy IX. It's the 25th
One of my
year
favorite
anniversary.
Final Fantasy games.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I
I get excited.
I loaded it up on my Steam Deck because I'm like, I should go through and do a playthrough. I still have to beat Attack of the Friday Monster for Martin. I'm putting this on there so I finally do it by next time.
It's been 2 years, Brandon.
It's been 2 years, but I started playing it. I'm like, man, what a charming game. They really got it all right with Final
On
Fantasy IX.
3DS.
Yeah.
I remember always seeing that game and like, should I get this game? It looks kind of cool, but
Did Final Fantasy IX get a 3DS version?
Well, no, but you can emulate PlayStation
Right,
games on
okay.
3DS really well.
Well, I know there was that time where there was a lot of 3DS versions of like Final Fantasy IV, Final Fantasy VI. They were doing 3D remakes.
plugs. I guess I don't really have any plugs. So just in recommendations. Oh fuck. Watch St. Elsewhere. I've said this before. It's on Hulu still, I think. It's kind
my
of
parents
fun.
just did a full watch through of that, and we were talking about it. They love that show.
My friends who got me into it, who got me to start watching it, for Christmas that year, I got them a cameo from Bill Daniels.
Oh, that's cool.
Who plays Mark Craig. And yeah, that was a lot of fun seeing that, and I bet hopefully it was fun for him getting a cameo request that wasn't Mr. Feeney.
I mean, we all look for the knowledge of Mr. Feeney in these dark times, but I'm sure...
I prefer the knowledge of Mark Craig, because he was harsh and kind of a jackass, and also you could learn a lot from the things he did wrong, as well as from the things
well, that
he
was
did.
the funny thing
Right.
explaining to my parents, because they were like, well, how do you know this guy? He was Mr. Feeney. He was on Boy Meets World. That was like... It was very formative for all of us. Like it's always funny when an actor becomes so synonymous with a character. It's kind of a shame that their other work gets forgotten.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got nothing to plug, but I do recommend. I'm doing a rewatch of Moral Oral right now. One of my favorite shows. Certain episodes I would definitely recommend skipping, but it's such good television.
God.
You see, that's so weird. I would interested to know which episodes you think to skip, because I
God's
thought...
Chef.
Oh, okay, yeah, I definitely skipped that one. I was just thinking, because I thought the show was just fine until that last season when they started playing Mountain Goat songs, it got really dark and cool.
That is...
Which is what got them canceled, but...
This was the series that introduced me to the Mountain Goats. So
Yeah.
it's got a big impact on my life. Or had a big impact.
God, I remember.
Yeah, Dinos Stamatopoulos, he's a good writer.
Starburns.
I think he's his own worst enemy sometimes, but yeah.
It's so weird that he's Starburns, but also is like the guy who made Wonder Shows in too.
He was one of those Wonder Shows.
Very well,
Yeah,
and then they did Mary Shelley's Frankenhole. I believe that was his show.
Yeah,
which is actually very fun animation. And like, it's funny you bring up Moral Oral, because I just went to Wisconsin. I went to the Wisconsin Dells for the first time this last weekend, because I'm a weirdo homebody in most cases, and I'm trying to live more. But we were talking about Moral Oral, and I just remember having vague memories of that show, because I would always have it on in the background, and I don't think I got it, but I will always remember the episode. I don't know. I would not imagine this is one of the episodes you want to skip, but it's where it goes through it's with the nurse, and you kind of understand her trauma. It goes through like 3 different characters coming home.
Yeah. That's the third season.
Is that where it starts to get real
one.
dark and like really start to?
Yeah, no.
Because I remember
That's when I say it becomes prestige television.
It happened that season, but it was a few episodes before. Yeah, the third season is when it's like, I guess they already knew it was their last season, so that's probably why they felt like, let's go ahead and do this. Because there's behind the scenes stuff where Mike Laszlo hated them going darker, but that's probably because he was some old boy from Georgia, so he grew up watching Davey and Goliath, which is what it was. Because the season before season 3, it basically was just a straight up Davey and Goliath parody, not really much beyond that.
No, it's always been a parody of Leave It to Beaver. Davey and Goliath was more like coincidental
because of the animation
Really?
style.
Even though it was stop
Because
motion?
you look
Yeah.
at claymation.
Huh.
Because I don't know, that was another one of those shows that I just it always felt like there was something so much deeper to it that I just wasn't getting as a dumb teenager. So
I definitely recommend rewatching.
I think we're planning to, because it's actually what we were discussing when we were at the Dells, because I forget because my buddy is a big fan of he is a big fan, and I can't believe I'm forgetting his name, who was the guy who created Dan Harmon. Big fan of Dan Harmon. Loves, watched Harmontown and all that. And we always end up talking about Starburns. I always forget how to pronounce his last name, so I just call him Starburns for the sake of it.
Yeah, no, Dino Stamanopoulos.
Stamanopoulos. Because, we were just talking about Moral Oral, and just kind of we all have vague memories of watching it and just not getting it. But then I just remember those certain real traumatic episodes where I'm like, this is hitting something very disturbing, but fascinating. Like, it's very interesting to look back on. So yeah, I might actually be doing a rewatch.
You think about the time frame of like watching that and then like Xavier Renegade Angel being on right after.
It's like more or less good Adult Swim, but I want to also recommend YOLO.
YOLO, Christopher,
because it's classic Adult Swim.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's whatever. It's like classic, just off the wall. Like there's enough story to where you can follow what's going on, but it's very much like do whatever the hell you want because it's a cartoon.
I can't believe we never. So you know what? I'm shocked because I made this joke yesterday when I was watching Rescuers Down Under. Rescuers Bushland Adventures. How did we not?
I love the way they depict Australia because it makes Australia look like the American South.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like I get that.
I watched the first episode of YOLO Crystal Fantasy after I kind of rediscovered Bushland Adventures. Because that's Michael Cusack, right? Who is Pym on Smiling Friends, I believe?
Yeah, he's one half of Smiling Friends, and he's the Ted behind
YOLO Crystal Fantasy.
YOLO and Koala Man.
Like that's the name I know it as, but it goes through. But yeah, Adult Swim really still clinging on.
I mean, to this day, yeah, because even Smiling Friends being a kind of a slightly big hit makes me happy. Like they still got the juice.
Yeah, and hopefully it doesn't go like Rick and Morty where it just got oversaturated. Which I don't think it will because it's not a 30-minute show and it's not.
Well, and it seems like
so character-driven.
It seems like those creators have enough sense, I would hope, to realize that they don't want to go that route.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because I think that's
you never know. But and anyway,
continue, sir.
What Michael Cusack's doing, I am 100%
right
behind what he's doing because I love Smiling Friends, but then I watched YOLO. I was like, oh, he's the stuff that I like about Smiling Friends.
Yeah, because Zach Hadel, I can only stand a little bit of sometimes. He's funny. I'm not going to say he's not funny, but. Yes.
Some of the
also,
only play stuff
podcast is emailing right now. I'm gonna fucking kill you.
I'm gonna
fucking
I can't even like do his voice, but like I'm gonna kill you.
The fucking podcast. Only I'm allowed to make fun of people on my fucking podcast.
Please don't.
I love that. That's what he sounds.
Please don't get Oni and G to yell.
Yeah. I welcome it.
Actually,
that probably be more views for us.
Yelling at me. It's these two. I feel like.
I mean, granted, like my favorite character, I think because I was a little late to Smiling Friends. It was just as the show was starting to come on, but I think for whatever reason on YouTube, the scene of Alan where he's crucified because of the Bliblies. And I just watched that continuously. Like, okay, I think I'm into this show. And I'm pretty sure to this day, like ever since then, my wife cannot say cheese properly because she just thinks of Alan.
Definitely the one episode with the billionaire Mr. Frog character just going around with a hammer.
Yeah.
I like when they do the whole bit where he's on the Jimmy Fallon show and they get Jimmy Fallon's annoying traits so spot on with him constantly hitting the table. Like it was one of those things that like, God, these guys are like razor sharp when it comes to making fun of people.
They really get gesture.
Yes.
Something that so many artists don't get. And also, anytime I see a new cartoon that's aimed at older audience that isn't just Family Guy or Rick and Morty, like those seem to be the two character designs you're allowed if you're a producer who wants to do a new adult animation. Well, that was Family Guy, Rick and Morty.
That was the whole running gag for a while with like Seth MacFarlane. I remember, every show was just a variation. Granted, I grew to like American Dad because it seemed like American Dad kind of fell.
American Dad
like
here.
Yeah. American Dad's good writing.
Well, that's what I mean. What's funny about American Dad to me is that it's like his Family Guy kind of became more like repetitive and stale. It seems like they kind of just let American Dad do whatever the hell they want. So they could just have a whole episode that is like a passion play, like an old fashioned Southern play that goes into family trauma out of nowhere.
They're very good at being self-indulgent, but still good.
Yeah.
A lot of cartoons, when they get self-indulgent, they're like, okay, I am going to tune out.
Yeah, which would go into Rick and Morty. I feel like that's exactly why it kind of ate itself.
Yeah.
But I mean, also,
I was obsessed with Rick and Morty for the first season, and then I started talking to other people who were really into Rick and Morty. And that kind of started to. That was when the whole "this character is literally me" thing, and I'm like, we need to shut that shit down. Like you're.
That's not good. That's not.
It's not good, man. Pull out. No.
It's like so many cycles of that media, because like I was also a huge fan of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and then when I was in college talking to other people, like, oh, they're just like my friends, like that's not good.
No, man, no.
That's not good at all.
They're all alcoholics.
Like, you don't want to be like this person. I don't want to, like, well, people, I'm not a fan of The Office. I never was.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not going to say, like, oh, it's a garbage show. Like, I don't know what, but because it was like everyone. I always fucking hated when people would talk about The Office because it seemed like all my dickbag friends at the time were like, oh, this reminds me of my job. And it's like, I don't want to be reminded of the people I worked with when I get home. I just want to watch
100%.
dumb shit. I don't need to be reminded of how much I don't like my managers.
Why I can't watch the Bear?
Oh,
Oh, yeah. That makes too much sense. Well, I feel like leaving on
Chicago dickhead chefs.
Yeah.
You don't want to see more of them.
I feel like leaving on that note, I think we're gonna have to have you back on in the future for doing the Rescuers, because I realize I've never seen it.
Oh,
either.
well,
Yeah,
shit.
neither have I.
Oh,
I like
said
that.
the Rescuers, and I think we also said the day the Earth blew up.
Yeah, and in a Podzuki fashion that we did.
hold
the
up.
Rescuers down
Your
here first.
tattoo. I'm sorry, I got you in visual. Is that okay? Cool.
Yeah, Petunia.
We were talking about Pete and Pete
This guy
over the last
yeah.
weekend, so that made me pretty happy.
So if we, I mean, I
My
feel like
brother owns a restaurant, and Rick Gomez, I guess, is producing a Netflix series about, maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but a Netflix series about restaurants. So he did something on my brother's restaurant, and he got to meet him, which was pretty
That's
cool.
real cool.
Like, he said he wasn't going to say anything about it to like be cool, but then Rick Gomez saw his tattoo and was like immediately like, oh, I know what that means.
yeah.
I was just asking, like, I hope Danny Tamborelli's doing okay. He was always a treat when he was on Figure It Out or anything else.
Yeah, he's got a band. I
That
know
seems
that.
appropriate.
And he was doing a podcast with the other dude, Michael Morona.
I always forget his name, just older Pete.
Yeah, well, he doesn't really. He's probably fine with people not really
Oh,
knowing
yeah.
who he is.
I
He
think
does
probably
some
just hangs
stuff,
out. That's cool, though.
but yeah, when I Polaris
That's
did
legit.
a tour years back, and Danny Tamborelli's band was the opener.
Oh, that's fun.
Hell yeah.
I love the Polaris. Yeah, that track's
Oh, man,
so
I-
hard. But
Oh,
I remember a friend of mine made me a CD of just the Pete and Pete soundtrack because I grew up
Great
watching the
soundtrack.
show. It was another one of those things I revisited later in life, and I realized, boy, this really was like some real like top tier like children's entertainment. It was just weird enough. And then I listened to that soundtrack, and I was like, God damn, everything is a jam. Like
Yeah.
you can't.
It's, I mean, also as a huge fan of Pavement, I'm like, oh, okay, I see a lot of influences coming from this too, and all that going on. But
I think Miracle Legion is the band that most of the people of Polaris are from.
That sounds about right. I'd have to go into a deeper dive. But that theme song, still an earworm. You hear that opening, you're just kind of like, fuck, that's going to be in my head all day.
Well, the director who directed a bunch of the episodes, especially originally, was a music video director.
Checks out
So that
entirely.
probably they always say that like she probably should have gotten a co-creator credit because of how much her, like, not just her style but her connections. That's why like Michael Stipe was in the show, and what's her name from the B-52s.
oh, what is her name?
Well, the B-52s,
Well,
the
listeners-
B-52s also had like a connection to Nickelodeon, I feel like, because they did the theme song to Rocko's Modern Life.
Yeah, but that was.
But I mean, I feel like
B-52 was
I don't know,
first.
the B-52s feel like a band that probably like dipped their toes into being kind of fascinated or cool with anime. Like, so they would see like a studio like Nick and probably be like, yeah, these people seem cool.
yeah.
Like
Absolutely, I believe it was. I think Frank Zappa requested to be on Ren and Stimpy.
that
because he's in an
sounds
episode of Ren and Stimpy.
completely appropriate.
I love me some Zappa.
I like Zappa
Peaches and
too,
regalia.
when he's when he reels himself in a
yeah.
little bit. If
needs-
he's
there
doing
needs
whatever
to-
he wants, it's
Yeah.
a little like. Shut the
I
hell
think
up, dude.
I'll end on that note. There always needs to be a Zappa handler.
Yeah.
You know, I mean REP, but still back in the day, it's very easy to like. Eddie and Flo really did both great vocals, but they could also ring them in, which I think is important.
Yeah.
The most deep cuts I think we've had on one episode. But I
Get
think,
four nerds in a room together.
Yeah, I think we keep doing sign-offs at the end of the episode. Now I think we have several in the air, so I just want to say, let's see what happens.
Oh, am
I'm gonna
I
try
supposed
it
to
right
plug
now.
something? Like,
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
sorry.
Sorry.
cool. Sorry.
Yeah, we really
Plug and
got-
recommend.
We got
So
deep in the
I am
sauce.
gonna be that guy because I do. A buddy of mine actually do have a children's book that I did illustrations for coming out on May 1st.
Ooh.
Hopefully, it'll be available on Amazon. I will be bringing copies of it to sell at All Monsters Attack, which is taking place at the Crown Plaza in Rosemont, May 9th through 11th. I'll be tabling there, selling artwork, stickers, stuff like that. Book is called Adventure Ace, Valley of the Giant Snakes. It's a fun little children's... it's very, very illustration heavy, but with a lot of a little bit of dialogue here and there. Basically just fun little adventure book. I got to draw giant snakes and monsters and stuff, and I think if you know any kids who are into it's very Johnny Quest inspired, is the best way I can describe it. So linking back to the Venture Brothers. But yeah, I'm excited about that. That's coming out on May 1st, hopefully, and I'll be probably plugging the hell out of that on my Blue Skies and stuff like that. As far as a recommendation goes, I would say everyone needs to play UFO 50.
Oh,
I still gotta get through that.
My sister has said so many good
I always, me and my buddy live streamed it. We just kind of went through all 50 games, and essentially it's, if everyone's familiar with Action 52, you know,
it's that.
The notorious, it's Action 52 if it was made by competent people and not a scam. Yeah. Every game, it's a wonderful. Besides the fact that every game is worth playing at least once, there are a lot of real fun ones. One of my personal favorites is called Night Manor, which is an old point-and-click horror game. If it was made on the NES, you wake up trapped in a house and you have to escape, and there's a killer lurking about. Real cool sprite artwork, but there's also, and I won't spoil it, but there's also an insanely deep meta lore to it that you find by finding codes and stuff, and you actually play a game within a game that tells the history of this fictional company. It's fascinating. UFO 50 was made by Derek Yu's company. Derek Yu made Spelunky, Spelunky 2, pretty popular games.
Oh. I didn't know it's the same guy.
What's up?
No, that's pretty cool. I didn't realize it's
I remember finding Derek Yu's artwork a long time ago, and then because I was looking for how to make video game sprites, and I was shocked with this company Mossmouth, because I love Spelunky. I never beat it, but it was always a fun one of those see how far you can get games. And then UFO 50 came out, and it's such a celebration of just... It's a very honest and earnest look at a video game company's rise and fall, because what's really fascinating about it is that there's 50 games, and they're all made in the sense of each game was made at a different time frame, because they all have years on them. So they aren't using certain video game techniques until they became actually a real thing. Ooh, it's very committed to its idea. And when we did the whole meta thing, it just kind of ties it together. I'm actually playing through it again now because you can unlock you can complete all the games, and there's a little customizable house thing. But every game on that is if you don't like a game, odds are you'll find 10 other ones that are just right up your alley.
I gotta play it.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for a good Steam sale on that, and then also with the announcement that they're doing that off remaster too, which is it's a good time for being a meta gamer.
Yeah. Which game are they remastering? I'm sorry, I didn't.
Off the one that a lot of Undertale, Toby Fox and a few others were.
The RPG maker.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I played Undertale really late, and you know what? That is one of the few cases where a game, even though I played it long after the fact, it lived up to all of its hype.
Oh yeah, no, I love it.
No, I got it. It was I knew it. I liked the soundtrack. I thought Papyrus was funny, and then I finally played through it, and I was I didn't even do a second run. I just did a standard run, and it was an Always Sunny moment where I'm I get it now. I get why this game meant so much to people.
Yeah. Also, when I played through and killing somebody for the first time, and I was uh-oh, the game knows.
Oh God, when it pulls that. I hate when games do that because it terrifies me, but it's also really well done. But when I killed Toriel and then it's you reset the game, didn't you? I'm I don't like this. It's in Metal Gear Solid when Psycho Mantis would read your memory card. Oh, you like to play Castlevania? Wait, what the fuck?
How would you get pornography on there?
Shut up! Don't ask.
I feel we got everything here together. I'm gonna sign us off. I'm gonna see what happens when we try to do it because we're doing this one, okay? Yeah, all right. So. 3, 2, 1. Cargo fast.
Cargo fast.
Yeah.
We regret that you have not yet complied with our order.
This show has been brought to you by Machine Culture.
The words get stuck in my throat.